our initiative WWW Women Building the Workplace. For the last 2 years, we are working with US Consulate General Kolkata in this project, and so far we have had the privilege to connect with more than 250 entrepreneurs and a wide range of mentors, and they all are listed under our website, that is womenforeconomy.net. So here, new startups can join us, can register with us, and access the information regarding the information we share regarding mentorship and training and workshops and schemes and all that. So, under this initiative, we come regularly live with our entrepreneurs and change makers who are making their mark in their journey. And today we have with us Pallavi Luharuka and Dr. Mahua Dutta. Both of them are successful entrepreneurs in their sectors. So I'm just giving a quick introduction to the initiative, and we are already running late. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining. And today, Mohadi is our moderator for the session. We had introduced Mohadi in the last episode. So today she will be moderating us, and we are happy to have her. Uh, and our comment section is open, so feel free to ask any question to our guest today. And over to you, Mohadi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, Pallavi.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And before we begin any discussion on this, I remember like months back when I first met you, when I first saw you rather, let's put it this way, I met you a little bit after I saw you. So when I saw you first, my first question in my mind was that what is this sweet little petite child doing in such a greasy affair? What's she up to? That was the first question which I had, because what you are doing is something supposed to be very rough and tough, industrial, and very labor oriented and everything, and you looked so petite and sweet and small and cute kind of a person, like not somebody who's fighting her way out kind. And then when I got to know you, when I got to meet you, I realized, or rather, let's put it this way, I got my answer why. Okay. So for all the viewers who are watching us, we have Pallavi today, and she's actually as we say it, a chota packet mein bada dhamaka. So she's a lady who's really doing good in a very much men-dominated world, a place, an industry where we as women get very less scope to literally penetrate. And something which ages back, Mrs. Sudha Murthy had done for the entire womanhood, actually. She had broken the glass ceiling. She had literally fought with the, right from her studies in engineering, where when she went to college, she realized that since she was the only girl student, they did not even have a girl's washroom. So her fight began from there, and till date, she is actually fighting for women right and all. And I'm so happy to see, Pallavi, every day something or the other updates keep coming about you. You are doing so good. So I would first of all want you to explain your work. What is it that you do? What's your company about? What's your product about? To all the viewers today, because somehow or the other, I feel you are a very young motivator for especially the younger generation. Now perhaps the academician in me is talking, somebody who have been teaching for last 20 years to people of your age. So probably that's come out. So I would first love to understand your work, what you are doing, how you started. So if you could tell us about your journey and your work.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mawadi. I think I would like by thanking the team at She Leads for this wonderful opportunity for me to share my journey. And I really would like to thank you personally because of the kind words that you've shared just now. Because by no means am I even close to what Murthy ma'am did. I have gone through her journey, and definitely there have been many similarities in the kind of struggles that each one of us, for that matter, are facing. But yes, to draw clue from what you mentioned, I'd like to start from there. So I have been somebody who has been very, very unconventional throughout childhood. Okay, I still look like a child, perhaps. So I'm 33 years of age, and I like to flout that because I've gained that wisdom with a lot and lot of struggle. So yes, the first impression that anybody gets by looking at me is the same that you explained. But the unconventional decisions that I have taken throughout my life has actually taught me a lot of things that has made me come to a stage where I am today. So let's say starting from my decision to take up chemical engineering when I was just passing out from school, right? My higher education. So when I started doing that, the first question that came to my parents' mind was, "ये लड़की chemical engineering कैसे ले सकती है? It's a hardcore male-dominated stream. You will have to handle labor workforce. You will have to, dirty your hands, go to the plants, work in harsh environments. Why do you even want to do that?" So, starting from there, and then I was a gold medalist of my batch, and then I got a great job offer just out of college. So, starting from there, the first company I joined, Honeywell, the team I joined was R&D. So I was the only female in a 25 plus male dominated department. So you will see, I have always passed through those phases where I have never considered myself to be different, in the way I looked. I always thought I was different, just like any other team member in my team was different. So, that helped me a lot across my journey. And probably that made me stronger because, when you are working in an environment where you have to pass through a lot of struggles, that teaches you a lot, and that enriches you a lot. So from that day till today, I have always practically been the only female in a hardcore male dominated room or table, if you may call it. But I have never let that belief come to the other person's mind. I am a strong believer of the fact that people will perceive you as you perceive yourself. So if I am comfortable in sitting amongst a room full of men, they should be equally comfortable sitting with me, and they should make me or they should believe in what I'm saying, or my views. That should count, and not the fact of that I have long hair and my lips are red in color, or I look different. No, I look different just like you or any other person does. So I think that mindset helped me a lot in taking some bold decisions in life, like start I'm a first generation entrepreneur in clean tech, for that matter, right? Although business runs in my blood, so uh, most of majority of my extended family have their own family businesses, but I chose to be very, very different, capitalizing my core strengths. Because I was a gold medalist in chemical engineering, so I always had that knack that always kept on to me. And I've had a vast experience in the industry for 10 plus years. So when I was working with these leading multinationals, I realized that an MSME like me could not afford technology from a Honeywell or a Grace, where I had spent 10 years in the industry. So why should we get deprived of technology innovations, right? So with that vision, this idea of making sustainability affordable came up, and that's how Royal Bengal Green Tech was founded last year. So our journey started off by developing a low cost technology for converting waste broken rice to ethanol. So while I was doing that, we accidentally discovered something that looked like plastic. And then we kept nurturing onto it, and here we are today. We have developed the world's first agri-waste derived, 100% biodegradable plastic that is priced at par with petroplastic relative to 3 to 4 times costlier alternatives. And the timing could not be better because now is a time where everybody is aware and conscious about going sustainable, having eco-friendliness into their day-to-day lives. Because mind you, it is no longer a concept of the future. It exists today. Everybody wants it. But pocket friendliness continues to be the number one concern. So here is a company with a vision to make sustainability affordable. So with that, all the innovations or all the initiatives that we are taking at RBG is centered around. So when we did that innovation, we soon realized that there are other components to such innovations which are also the need of the hour. And with some prior experience in our team, I have a mentor who has been guiding me for the last 30 plus years. So he had some idea that, why don't you start doing something around eco-friendly grease? So that's how this idea of 100% eco-friendly grease came up. We call it RBG Greasy. And we are already supplying to some of the leading corporates, in fact, around across India in 12 different cities in 7 different states in the country. So, really, people are already ready. They have ESG goals to meet. They want their annual reports to look green. We are talking about hardcore polluting industries. So yes, that actually enabled. And the ecosystem is so supportive. I've met you a couple of times. I keep speaking to Abhiksha. So the ecosystem is so conducive today that you get a lot of support. So that helps us thrive. I don't know. That was probably a very long answer to your question. But yeah.
No, that's absolutely perfectly fine because I'm feeling so happy because among the list of people viewing, I can actually see some of my students here who are very successfully working in their different fields. And like as I always say that uh, probably for last 20 years, I have been answering a very cliche, simple and boring question that, ma'am, can girls do sales? So I so
Absolutely.
wish, I so wish that today still I was, a full-time professor with the college, and I could have picked you up, hijacked you, and showed it to them that see, this is what a woman can do, and perhaps more than this is what a woman can do. So it's high time that we start looking at ourselves like a human being, and the entire society looks at us as a human being first,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then bifurcate us into a male or a female,
Yes.
etc.
Yes. Yes.
uh, you know what, like as you said, your entire family is into business, everybody has their own businesses and all. Now I, like, if you ask me, I come from a background where at least my last 5 generations have never done business, and I don't know before that, but at least the last 5 generations have never done business. So when I first said that I want to leave my job and pursue my business, everybody like was so shocked, as if I have said I want to, probably leave this earth and go to Mars or something. I've said something like that. Now that is something which I always keep saying, that it's a huge pressure on me, huge challenge on me to prove myself. And every day basis, I, like, just today I was talking to my mother and saying that, I'm looking for one more employee, and she was like, how will you pay the salary? So it's like I can't get into this thing into their head that, things are very different in business, it's not a job and all. Now this is one kind of a pressure. On the other hand, what I understand is you have a performance pressure. Like, whatever I do, people look at it and feel that this is the weirdest possible part of our family. Fine, that's one pressure. But with you, when everybody is in business, there is a performance pressure. If I may say so, your situation is like that of an Abhishek Bachchan whose father is Amitabh Bachchan. So people
Absolutely.
already have some set expectations built and everything. Hello, Indra, I'm fine. Thanks for joining. Now, when you have so many people who are successfully running the business, what were your challenges in your journey? And not only from the family part of it, but from the other part, let's say the professional world, the society, the family, everywhere. What were your challenge? Like, your challenge would not be the challenges which I have faced. Your
Sure.
challenges are something different. But then I believe you have some very tough situation. So, uh, uh, what were yours?
Absolutely, absolutely. As you correctly put it, all our struggles probably converge at some point, but yes, we have individual journeys. So, the number one struggle that I faced I can clearly vouch for this. I was one of the top 10 perhaps highly paid professionals in the industry before I left my job. So much so, and I was in hardcore sales, mind you. And there are very, you can count on fingertips, women in sales. I was probably one out of top three salespeople, women sales persons in the country, I can say, in my industry, of course. So from there, the decision itself that I would venture into entrepreneurship was a, you know, a big, bold decision for everybody to accept, because people who are running their business were like, तुमको तो बैठ के पैसा मिल रहा है. Why do you want to take up the pain of coming into your own business? So, it was a challenge to explain to them कि बैठ के पैसा कहीं भी किसी भी profession में नहीं मिल सकता है, if you are honest and sincere. So you don't, only the person who is in it knows what are the struggles, right? And it's perfectly fine. There are different struggles in everything you do, and that's perfectly acceptable. So starting from there, second major struggle was, why clean tech? Why sustainability, and why what you want to do? How did you even think of going for what you're, telling us? So that was a completely different struggle, because I'm a hardcore technology company now. So that itself is very difficult to explain to a community where I come from, because most of them have standard manufacturing plants. Somebody's manufacturing paper cups, somebody's manufacturing plastic, bottle caps, or very conventional product-based manufacturing, or somebody is into import export. So in the first place, nobody was able to relate to something like this, what I was proposing, because what I was proposing had a gestation time. I will not be manufacturing from tomorrow and generate profits from day after tomorrow, right? I am going to develop technologies, I will have IP, and that will always take time. So I had in my mind very clear two things. One is, I will start up when I have sufficient funds with me to sustain myself for the gestation period that I'm looking at. So I had some plan in mind that, for this period, I will not be generating any revenue, leave alone profits. So I will have to sustain myself. So explaining that aspect again was a challenge. Then why sustainability? Why are you even talking about it? Nobody is interested in eco-friendliness. People are comfortable in using the regular grease by a Castrol or a Gulf, or there are big brands. Why plastics? People are very comfortable in using whatever they're using. So, the number one rule of marketing is that the consumer usually does not know what he or she wants. So it is you. In fact, there's also a very common saying that, salespersons were not required if products could sell itself. So, for example, you also, founded a company for chocolates, and you've named it beautifully. Actually, I love the name you've given it, Devil You, because it brings out the devil inside everyone, right? I remember you mentioned that to Miss Pavik during our meetup. So, the point I'm trying to make here is, every little thing, there's always a struggle explaining things to people. And then, as you correctly mentioned, getting into a hardcore manufacturing, quote unquote, male dominated segment, that again is a challenge. Making your workforce, staff, convinced why you would be giving them instructions as a female to a male staff, that is a challenge. They would simply, not listen many times. So, coming out from there, now we are a women only task force, because I really think they appreciate the value that they bring more than the conventional experience that I've had handling male staff. But I'm not biased in that respect, but that's just a point I have observed. I'm sure with time I will have more and more inclusion in my workforce. But yes, I do, appreciate that these are some very common challenges that many of us, some other entrepreneurs also face. So yes, we have made ourselves stronger over a period of time. Now that I have reached a considerable stage where, people are recognizing our work, and there have been international recognitions. Now we are in a state where, so definitely. So it's all fulfilling at the end of the day.
Absolutely. In fact, you are right in saying that, like as we say in marketing, that the need is there. We never create the need. That as a salesperson or as a marketer, we cannot do. But the problem is the need is always very latent. People do not know exactly what they want. So it's our job as a marketer, as a salesperson, to project it or present it in a proper way in front of the customer so that they can understand. Like, as you said, I've started this brand of chocolate, and I had always thought that whenever I used to go to the shops, people used to say, "Ma'am, आपको इलायची का essence चाहिए, आपको cinnamon essence चाहिए, आपको blueberry essence चाहिए." And I always used to keep thinking that if these things are actually produced in nature, then why the hell do I need an essence for? Just to make it stronger, smell stronger. Food is supposed to smell good, okay, but taste good. That's what is more important. When we are chewing and eating something and that's going inside us, it's supposed to taste good, not smell good. Smelling is something that's reserved for perfumes and flowers. So food is supposed to smell okay, delicious, and then it's supposed to taste delicious. So that's when I started experimenting with spices and the real time fruits I used to buy and then sun dry it, then store it in the refrigerators and all. Like currently we are experimenting with 2 3 sugar substitute like maltitol. We are right now at the research stage with monk fruit, and all these substitutes also we are trying to understand. In fact, I am trying to source date powder which can be substituted for sugar. So all these things which I'm doing and then explaining it to the customers, we do have to do exhibitions. As you can understand, I'm into a B2C market.
Right.
So exhibitions are always a good place for us to go and demonstrate our product. Now, that's where the consumers have this reservation. Why the hell should I? Like, maybe I should not name the competitors, but then yes, they are there. The competing brand of chocolates are there. So why should I change? So same
Yeah.
goes for you, that if plastic is doing my work, if maybe a Castrol or an ELF or a Gulf or something else is doing my work at a certain price and I've got used to it, I have my supplier, then why should I suddenly change?
Right.
What extra will I get? And like in industry, as I always say, for products like a ball bearing or a coupling or a grease, or these are things which are not visible. These are
Right.
things which do not become part of the end product. These are things which literally ensures the smooth running of the entire establishment. But then these things, at times the company feels that okay, kuch bhi hai chalega, mane greasing का ही तो काम है, it's okay. But then to make people realize that we have to look at sustainability at this stage, because we cannot keep ourselves dependent on chemicals and things which are detrimental to nature, because we ourselves have seen that when nature comes back to us in form of something like COVID, it actually takes away lakhs and lakhs of people away from us. So if nature gets angry, then a lot of things can happen around us. So it's high time that we become conscious. So
Yes.
when in all this journey that you did and trying to make your consumers aware, especially I would say your work is very difficult in the sense that more than the end users, you have to get your the distributors, partners, dealers. They have to be convinced first that yes, this is a better alternative.
Yes.
So in these challenges, like in these certain stages, can you give some certain, say, negotiation tips or some interesting hacks which you found out in order to convince or get new distributors or get new people? Like what tricks did you use? Like probably that's going to help a lot of us as entrepreneurs, because we all have to negotiate. So what are your hacks or your tricks or your strategies of doing it?
Absolutely. So, firstly, I would like to highlight that, negotiation is very, very specific to, let's say, the type of clients you have, whether it's B2B, whether it's B2C, whether it's D2C, whether it's B2G, and which kind of product you have. So, that is just a word of caution before I proceed with some of the tips that I'm going to share. Now, for a product like mine, right? there is very, very different technique of, let's say, doing the marketing, a go-to-market strategy, if I call it, for the particular segment that I'm talking to. So I have spent time in, talking to directly the garage owners from I visited at least 100, 150 service centers personally. And I've done that all personally because, as the founder, it's a concept we call founder's mindset. Like, you are the best salesperson for your own brand. Definitely we will hire people down the line, but when we have an established brand, for example, when the brand recognition is high, today it's not as high, and that's how every startup works. So I can be the most passionate about my product and brand more than anyone else. So that is number one. That's the number one hack that every entrepreneur needs to have. We call it a founder's mindset. So second hack is, know your customer. So let's say the same strategy will not work for a garage owner as a service center or a B2B client. So I have to use different techniques. A B2B client for my particular case is more interested in meeting their ESG sustainability goals, having green on their annual reports. They want to look good, they want to have carbon credits, they want sustainability factors. So that strategy is completely different. Whereas when you go to a garage owner or a service center, they do not care about eco-friendliness. You can sensitize them because they are not aware of a concept like this. But all they care about is price. So you have to play that game there. And fortunately, we are working in making sustainability affordable. So it gels well with their overall concept. So we've been able to, cater to a vast spectrum of consumers in that respect. So it really depends on, a lot of these factors, if I may put it.
Right, true. In fact, I have seen many young entrepreneur startups initially when they start their own business, they immediately start hiring people for sales and everything, and it hurts their ego to go and knock the doors of their clients. Now, this is something really saddening because your brand is not selling. It's you who's selling right now. It's your merit, it's your caliber, it's your background, your conviction about your product, which is actually selling in the market. It's not your brand till now.
Yes.
So for your brand or for my brand, we are somehow our own ambassadors, our own salespeople. Our brand is known by who we are, how we talk, how we present ourselves.
Yes.
So at this, hiring salespeople will definitely not help. Probably they'll help us out in doing few cold calls.
Yes.
But then closing deal, when it comes to that, you have to be present yourself. Because even if we come down to the nuances of our product, the drawbacks of our product, we know it the best. We know exactly how to guide our customers in terms of using it and everything. So absolutely, it's really an eye-opening. I believe those who are watching, they will understand that, opening a startup and is not that you just have a lot of money, you spend it. It's not a trend that you put in a lot of money, you invest, you have a fancy office and 20 people working for you. It's not like that. You have to get your hands dirty. Until and unless you do that, your business is never going to be yours. Pretty soon somebody will take it over, or you will shut down that because it was never yours. So until and unless you become a part of it, you dirty your clothes, you literally, like, just for example, today only at 7 o'clock in the morning, I had my first meeting for a business forum. And just 5 minutes before this light started, I closed my workshop. So it's like there are times when I'm sitting on a panel and doing a discussion, and there are times when I'm in my workshop putting stickers on my product. So you have to do it.
Same. Yes, absolutely.
And I believe that every entrepreneur should understand that there's nothing to be ashamed about it. My father said, he asked me this question that, beta, sticker lagane ke liye aapko PhD karna pada. So I was like, no, वो स्टिकर का डिजाइन क्या होगा, ये डिसाइड करने के लिए मुझे PhD करना पड़ा. My entire experience goes behind deciding what that name would be on the sticker, what the sticker would look like, how to put it, which angle, what size, what should be the pricing, and finally, how do I present it to the customer? That's where my knowledge is. Perhaps something which I would do better than 20 other women. So there's nothing to be ashamed about it. If you have to cook your food and feed, or if you have to make your own grease, carry your own dabba, take it in front of a client, open the dabba and show them that this is my product, do a demonstration. There's nothing to be ashamed. And in fact, at every stage when you dirty your hand, you feel so powerful from inside, because you've done it. Every stage, every day, every time you go and meet a garage owner, you come out and say, yes, I did it. So that's perhaps, I would say, the power, and we as women, I believe, are multitaskers. I believe are superhuman, who can manage so many things at a time. So definitely this is something which, like, hum nahi karega to kaun karega, that kind of a thing. We are the ones who would absolutely be doing good in business. We are, I
Absolutely.
would
And इसमें
say,
और भी दो फायदे हैं actually, which you will also appreciate because I know you have done it through, you just explained. उसमें दो फायदे हैं. एक तो है ना, when you do that labeling, when you do that packaging, when you actually make it with your hands, यहाँ गड़बड़ होने का chance है. You can improvise and standardize your work process. So when your staff is taking the baton on, or let's say when you're going full automatic, subsequently, you know which points to be taken care of, which are the weak links, which are the critical parts, which have to be assured done properly. Like, when I spend time in my factory, majority of my time is spent in ensuring that my staff is comfortable in the way they are working. I eliminate unnecessary rework. I give them a conducive environment. So very little things, but that actually gives you that thought process. That's very important. Critical thinking, problem solving. You have to solve the problem immediately. Otherwise, your production is hampered. So those little things are important for learning. Until you dirty your hands, you cannot learn, and staff will not respect you unless you have that complete knowledge. So that is the only way, actually.
Yes. So in a nutshell, you cannot draw your SOP until and unless you have done it yourself. You need to have your processes in place. You have to draw your documentation. So if you have not done it, then how do you create your own documentation? How can you tell your staff that in one day, this is your KRA and this is what your target is for today, if you have no realistic idea about how much it can be done? So
exactly. You can say do it in 1 hour, but it takes 8 hours. So कोई फायदा नहीं है वैसा.
Exactly.
So
absolutely. So I sincerely enjoyed talking to you, Pallavi. A lot of things to learn, I believe, for all of us. And must thank you for your time, and thanks to the initiative, and thanks to our entire I would say the body, who has actually thought that women actually are empowered. So
totally.
everybody says women has to be empowered, but this is the first body where I feel so comfortable talking, because this body knows we are already empowered. There's no question of separately empowering us.
Absolutely. Remember, the world will perceive you as you perceive yourself. If you are empowered already, it will always come across. Nobody is looking for empowerment from anywhere, but within.
Any charity from anyone that we need an empowerment or something. So,
and let's not even look for that. We are empowered, all of us on this call, outside. We have to celebrate our achievements. The fact that today Royal Bengal Green Tech is known not only at a domestic level, we've won so many awards. We are going global. We are going for TIE Singapore. We won the women global pitch competition from Kolkata chapter. We are the only startup who has been invited by who has been nominated by US consulate for a program by Academy of Women Entrepreneurs in Taiwan. And that's back to back. Actually, nobody even imagined that something like that would happen, just back to back. So it was 4 plus 4 days, but now we had to cut short to 2 plus 2 days so that we can accommodate both. So I mean, that is the stage where we are in, and if we can do it, anybody can do it, and everybody can do it. So
exactly.
Please feel empowered, everyone, not only women for that matter. Everyone is already empowered. Believe in yourself. We can do great.
As I always say, that we first either win or lose the war here.
Yes.
And then on the battlefield. So we first either win it here or lose it here, and then we go out to the battlefield. So if we have lost it here, trust me, come what may, you will never win it in the field. So you have to win it here.
Never.
So that's where our problem is. We lose it here. So absolutely, as I always say, there's nothing to be empowered, nothing. We are. When God created us as the superior species in this nature, he or she already empowered us. So there's nothing to discuss actually on that.
Absolutely.
So thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank you
I
so much for
yes,
joining. Thank you for this discussion.
Thank
yes,
you
yes.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Preet, for being a wonderful moderator. Thank you, Abhipsha, and thank you so much, She Leads, for this wonderful opportunity. I'm sure we've been able to motivate, a few more entrepreneurs today.
Yes, yes, definitely. With all your inspiring words, there must be like feeling strong from within. So that's what we are trying to do. We and when we come together and uh, we just empower more women, and not only women but individual.
Absolutely.
uh,
Absolutely.
yes. So thank you very much. So those who are watching, just I just want to share another two, three words that the way Pallavi ji was sharing that all these skills she was talking about: decision making, problem solving, critical thinking. And there is also what Moha ma'am said, first you have to win the war here. So the confidence which comes from within. So for all these life skills and another hands-on training, we have started this training Tuesday. Hashtag training Tuesday is our hashtag. So and on every Tuesday we share this skill building information, and we have experts, and we are trying to build more capacity, and and doing everything with whatever is possible for us to bring a positive change, and to stop how the way women are leaving the workforce after the COVID and all that. Not only entrepreneurship, but also in corporates, public and private sectors. So we all are together to feel more empowered and do better in whatever sector we are in and whatever we are doing. So, thank you very much for joining us, and all our viewers. Thank you very much for having us, for your time. And this session and all our sessions are available on YouTube just few days after the telecast. So, just keep following us and be positive from within. Thank you very much.